Hello, I'm Troy White, Hoodoo Financial. Hey, I want to talk about group economics today. And basically, what the deal is I'm doing a big push on investment clubs. I'm trying to get more investment club clients, and there's a large package of education, investing, advisory, analysis, and so forth that we're putting together to service investment clubs, because that's been something I enjoy doing, and it's been pretty effective so far, so I want to do more of that. And so anyway, in preparing the workshops, seminars, and such for investment club activities that I'm engaged in, I created a course, an online course, and a lot of materials. Just put it like that. And I'm practicing on you right now, fleshing out some of the other ideals that I'm going to be covering in a webinar or some sort of YouTube, Facebook ad. And on the topic of group economics, a subtopic that I'm coming up with, using investment clubs to create economic impact. So, group economics, using investment clubs to create economic impact. Or should I reverse that? Investment clubs using group economics to create economic impact. Something like that. All right, some of the things that we're just going to talk about. Some of the things I think that are important. First off, with the investment clubs, it's all about learning, the participation of the group, like-minded and even hopefully more advanced individuals in their investment journey are there to share information and knowledge and help interpret some of these things to you, and learn how to invest, actually invest, do it in a way that in such a way that there's a fun and nurturing environment. Could even be a place and an activity in which you meet people at. But we'll get real detailed, man. We're going to do some big things with this year with the investment club. So anyway, let's move on. Let's get some of these ideas out. So first off, with any investing, you need a detailed and very specific plan of action. And with our investment club clients, we have the ability to work with the individuals as well. And so we consider that the input that we're doing when we give information to the club to be priming them to become better investors in their personal investment accounts and their additional, whatever their partnerships, other endeavors. But we are trying to work on the individual. So to the individual, we stress that they, as well as the group, need a very detailed, very specific financial plan for themselves and whatever entity they are involved in. There needs to be action items and a relentless execution over a specific time horizon, so that those action items allow you to be relentless. So if we don't have action items, we can't get that hunger, that energy out and act on something, because a theory is a theory. We could theorize all day and night, but that's not going to increase your assets. The action is going to increase your assets. And those actions are specific to the goals of the account holder. So the account holder in one circumstance being the investment club, and the other account holder being the individuals within the club. So with our package, when we have an investment club account, the individuals of the club have access to the same individual services. So then there are political aspects and implications and impacts to you, not only you, but to the masses joining, starting, creating, participating in investment clubs of various kinds and sorts and sizes, because financial success is going to breed financial success. And I will point out, at Hoodoo Financial, our advisory towards to our investment clubs, we are a fiduciary advisor. So we're looking out for your best interest, and we have a general philosophy. So if that philosophy is not something that you're interested in pursuing, or you don't agree, you disagree with, then that's great. That would mean we're not a good fit. But I think there are many, and there are some specific people who I am speaking to who should embrace this type of a philosophy that can come with these investment clubs, and that philosophy is, that group economics is essential, and an understanding of economic theory, you understand that it takes a combination of dollars to make this magic happen. And I'm not going to chart. I'm anxious to go into charting out some of the benefits of investment clubs, but right now I'm just mentioning my bullet point list. Because this is enough to go off of right now. So those political aspects and implications and impacts are borne out in the masses becoming investors and creators of jobs and creators of industry and creators of franchises and creators of neighborhoods, and you're wondering, well, how is that happening with you investing in becoming a participant in an investment club? And because this investment is for real, and at least at Hoodoo, we are teaching the philosophy that of legacy investing, of social impact investing, of portfolio building, of family financial planning, of personal financial planning, of financial literacy, and of entrepreneurship and business startups and crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending and I can just keep going on, but we start the club, hire us to help you. Choose our platform to handle your investment accounts and help you build the portfolios, and you'll get all of that information and more, the details. Understanding the group objectives of the club is a big deal, and that's really the fun deal, because you can have objectives. Your objective is not to have stocks and bonds. Your objective, the stocks and bonds and other investment vehicles are meant to achieve an end result for you and your club. For you and the reason why you're in the club. And the club should have an objective as well. And so we would hash that out as well. And then that objective goes back to my first bullet, was it has to be a detailed, specific plan, and that gives us action items so that we can have that relentless execution. And without that, it doesn't matter how much money that you may temporarily make or have or received. Most rappers never get rich. Most athletes never get rich. You might make a lot of money for a short period of time, but that doesn't equal rich. And we're going to talk about things like that. Behavioral finance is a very big deal at our firm. We stress that as a major part of the financial literacy of our clients. And most cities, I made this bullet, but most cities are democratic, and they have all failed a certain population that is significant to those cities. Be that an ethnic population, but a section of that city is always blighted, is always deteriorated, and it's not by accident. You could say it's on purpose or whatever, but it is what it is. But it don't have to be you. It don't have to be us. It doesn't have to be your area. There are ways through group economics to change the game, change the whole trajectory. So never mind that others have abandoned you. You're there. You can do it. You can revitalize communities all over the country. Through group economics, through investment clubs, working with investment clubs, and so on and so forth. All right. Another bullet I made, and you say, how does this pertain to investment clubs? And again, these are bullets of points I want to cover, maybe it's going to be an hour or maybe a couple hours long webinar or so. And my bullet, let me just say what I wrote. Our Bill Gates and our Steve Jobs were being incarcerated and encouraged to enter an illegal industry. That's a long bullet. Our Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and when I say our, I'm pertaining to the African American community. So let this be an example. We had people who are the equivalent of entrepreneurship, ingenuity, creativity, skills, and education of a Bill Gates and a Steve Jobs. Yet they were being incarcerated after being encouraged by our government and other societal factors. They were being encouraged to enter into an industry that was in and of itself illegal, deemed illegal by the government, and led to negative outcomes. But we have the skill level of individuals. Through group economics, we can ensure that that circumstance doesn't happen again. We can take advantage of our Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. We can utilize the skills, talents, creativity, and entrepreneurism of these creative minds that are out here, that they may not even recognize their skills and abilities. But an investment club, back to my other bullet point, with a group objective that is building the community while amassing assets, investing in multiple asset classes, businesses can do a lot. Let's just say, one of the things they could do, my next bullet is impact unemployment and underemployment. And we can, that's a great advantage of group economics and doing it through investment clubs. Is you can do this right now. To me, it's less work than starting a business. It's easier than starting a business, even if you're going to start a business. It's like, if you had an investment club where the members of the club all wanted to start a business, and you had 12 members of the club, then you have 12 potential owners of 12 businesses. 12 businesses that helped each other. 12 businesses that have a pact that if one stumbles, the others compensate, help them up. 12 guaranteed customers for each other. 11 guaranteed customers for your business. Off the bat, for each of those businesses. So those are the type of factors that we're going to take into account. In our course, I covered this. We have our online course, but I'm studying for the webinar. All right, can impact the low net worth of some populations. In that I was specifically thinking of various members of my family, including the family structure for which I come from. That's why I'm pointing it out. Single black mothers have the lowest net worth. And that goes back to some of my other bullet points. It impacts the social outcomes, impacts your personal ability for you. You have a ceiling above your head based on the economics of your impact of your parents. What you were born into has some, not some, man. It's right now it's etched in stone of where you're going to go, unless some factor comes in to change the direction of what's happening. But the numbers show that, you got those circumstances, you fit these stats, in terms of financial literacy and investment and financial planning. A lack of shows a certain direction to a certain outcome. And we can change that, and we can change the game, we can change the path. And then you will start to gain momentum and do this relentless execution on action items of a detailed and specific plan. All right, moving on. Let's try to skim through this. To different types of investment groups, in our course we cover many of them. But here's just a short eye opener to you. Family investment groups, so call them investment club, investment group, there is no difference. But your family, think about who do you trust and who needs your help, who's worth your attention, and who could be of some impact on you. Well, how about, who do you start your group with? I'm just throwing out something. Well, the people who are important to you. Well, who's important to you? How about the 5 or 10 people that show up for Thanksgiving? The 5 or 10 people that come for Christmas and some other holiday? The 10 or 20 people that come to the family reunion? It's not from not as if you need to reward those people for being great. No, it's just for the simple fact you're going to see them twice a year. You got these two meetings. You have the ability to pitch this idea to them. They are in your sphere of influence. 10 of your best friends. 10 people in a certain industry investment groups. It could be groups of members who are in a certain industry. Maybe those individuals have some insight into investment opportunities that are related to their industry. Maybe they want to get together socially and learn to do things, to invest. Maybe it's a group that invests in a certain industry. Maybe it's a group of airline pilots and airline, used to be called stewardess, airplane people who help you on the airplane and help get the whole ship going. Maybe it's those people, and when they meet up for their investment club, and maybe they're building a portfolio of, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs that are related to their industry. I'm just pulling that out the air, just making that up. But these are the type of off the wall things. Whatever your interest is, we can tie the interest can be tied to the members or the investment strategy, the investments themselves. We may want like I said, you may have some insights. So it's all about, you feel confident about the industry, so you want to diversify by investing in the industry, but in companies that support that industry. Different type of methods like that. Investment sector groups. You want to be in that sector. That could be a way to be in that sector, but not necessarily you don't want to be in airlines. You don't want to buy airlines, but you'll buy more stock in Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce makes airline engines. So it could be things like that. Investment strategy groups. You guys could have a strategy to only invest in micro cap stocks of companies in a certain industry or sector that are micro stocks that are small companies now, but you guys think that if you buy these now, down the road in your time horizon of 15 years, those are likely to be the major players that are billion-dollar corporations. So you think you want to start looking for those ones now at an early stage. Maybe that's what you guys want to do. Asset class investment groups that only invest in at one asset class. Like I said, maybe a group of real estate investors, and they also like stock market investing, but they only want to invest in real estate investment trusts. That's the asset class that they're sticking to. It could be a group of real estate related industry people, realtors, appraisers, mortgage brokers, and mortgage processors, various things like that. They put in $100 a month, and we select REITs and build a portfolio of real estate investment trusts, REITs. So those are just some ideas I'm just introducing concepts to you, and just mentioning the ideas related to the topic of investment clubs, and how investment clubs are a method for making an impact with group economics. There is a lot that can be done, and there's just the need for that startup capital to get entrepreneurial endeavors going. There's a need to support other industries and sectors and activities, and that's what you can be doing with your group. There could be, whatever it is, the ties that bind you together. Maybe you guys have some environmental cause, and that you feel you want to combine your dollars to invest to support your cause, and meaning you want to support through your investing companies that help save the environment, and exclude from your portfolio companies that harm the environment. So there's a lot that we can do, and it goes back to you and what your idea is. I encourage you, if this sparks any curiosity in you, I want you to be the one to start the investment club for you and the beneficiaries of what you start. And your club, it becomes a social endeavor. You guys are going to have a name. The Starbound Investors, or the Cash Money Millionaire Squad, or something. I'm just making this up out of the blue. But and then local investment clubs often get together. I've been to banquets that are given locally. I'm here in Oakland, and there's a group of investment clubs. They put on an annual banquet, and sometimes they get together, have picnics. They have a lot of events, games, and just networking. So it's a social thing, it's a money thing, it's a knowledge thing, it's a financial thing. Let's get with that thing. So thanks for taking the time to listen to me. Look for more information on group economics and the impact that you can make with investment clubs. Thanks for listening. Holler.